Good morning, everyone. This is Sreedhar. Welcome to Bright Morning Rise. Today, we are going to talk about someone who is not just a phenomenon by himself, but he has shown everyone what it takes if one is determined and one is passionate. There is no reason why you have to be really experienced in a particular field if you really are passionate and if you really are determined to go about it. He has proven many theories wrong. He has scaled as many heights that one would really imagine to. He's just not a person, but he's a personality with a lot of things to learn from. He's a person that one would want to get inspired. The name inspires. I always told an inspiration should come from hearing the name itself. This is how good leaders become great leaders. Their name inspires. And we are talking about today from India about one such story. He will not just inspire you, but he will also teach you how to do things even though when you are in doubt, even though when you think that you are not an expert. His name is a phenomena, he's a personality, and today we are talking about the great leader, the great business leader of India, Grandi Mallikarjun Rao garu. He is also known as GM Rao. The founder of GMR Infrastructure. This is one of the finest infrastructure companies who not only develops but operates. There is no business that he is not doing, especially in the infrastructure division. He's into roads, he's into hydro power, he's into aviation, he's into airport infrastructure, he's into infrastructure business, which is also a national asset, which means he is one of the key businessmen for the nation of India. Let's get going and see what makes him very special, what inspires him to be an inspiration himself, how he made a journey hailing from one of the small towns in a district called Srikakulam in Andhra Pradesh state. How he managed to make his journey so grand that today he is featuring in one of the top 300 billionaires in the world by Forbes. He is one of the richest people in the India, and his company is one of the finest in the world as far as the infrastructure business is concerned. Today we're going to know a little about him and his personal journey. And I'm fortunate and I'm very lucky to have some close association with him, and I'm going to give you one key element in all his story that is going to be the takeaway for the people who are going to view this. As I said, he belongs to a small town called Rajan. That's where his father, he belongs to a slightly upper middle class family. His father has been traditionally they are traders, so his father has been in business. They've got some jewelry business and some trading business, especially the jute. When he failed in 10th class, yes, he failed in 10th class, and that's when his father decided not to let this boy pursue studies. But he promised that he will not fail again. And that promise has been so very intense that he never failed again in his life, not just in education. He went on to become number one in the school in intermediate, and then he eventually completed his mechanical engineering degree in the Andhra University. And he then pursued some government jobs, but he has that inherited businessman in him. He and his mother wanted him to be a businessman, versus his father wanted him to be an employee of government. But when he realized that he is not an employee but he's an entrepreneur, he has decided that he will start working with his family. And it is a practice in his community that his father has decided to share his wealth and given the share of Mr. GMR. GMR has got 3 lakhs as his share and a house, and it was up to him to decide what to do. He then started a jute mill because he has got already some experience in it, and thereafter he has touched every single side of the business. He went on to become the head of ING Vysya Bank because he was considered to be one of the key influence to run this business. He shifted his base to Bangalore from Rajam, and while he did not leave Rajam, he has done so many things. Now Rajam is flooded with colleges, medical universities, and hospitals, steel plant factories, you name it. Rajam has everything under the GMR's name. It is Pilani of Andhra Pradesh. That's how Rajam has been made into. GMR idolizes with none other than Dhirubhai Ambani, and his story as well matches something like Dhirubhai Ambani. I call GMR as the Ambani of Andhra Pradesh, Ambani of South India. He's not just the richest in Andhra Pradesh or the Telugu states, but what makes him or what leaves him separate from any business leader in this part of the world is his grounded personality, his kindness, his humbleness. When you talk to him, you understand what a grounded personality is he. And that is a very, very distinct characteristic. And I have experienced that to the core of it. During one of my visits recently to Delhi in his office, when he invited me kindly so that I could sign my recent bestseller Moment of Signal to him personally. It was magical to meet him. The way he treats you compels you to check time and again, am I with such a great man? And there are very few people who could maintain this balance of being grounded. The more you grow, the more you are grounded. He is a great example, and he exactly fits into this line. The more you grow, the more you're grounded. And I think that brings him more and more positive vibes from everywhere. He commands a lot of charisma. He's highly inspired by Warren Buffett, and he started donating his personal wealth after he had an intense discussion with his family, who's always with him, who are also encouraging him to do what his mind speaks. He has donated thousands of crores towards philanthropy, and that again makes him a very, very special person. Now, coming back to his business. Today, he is one of the top infrastructure companies, not just in India, not just in Asia, but in the world. He now has a company understanding with one of the biggest infrastructure companies from France, ADP. Now, ADP is his partner. What makes a small town jute trader who has got an investment of 3 lakhs to current his net worth is about 3 billion US? How this gentleman has managed such a dramatic, such a fantastic, such a fabulous story, one must really, really see through his journey. Time to time he was making decisions. Those decisions are worth risking his entire fortune. Those decisions are worth risking his entire career, his reputation. He would become zero, probably minus that. But he was making calculated risks. But each of the risks that he was taking is always supported by greatest of logic, greatest of the background work. He has never taken a risk without having fully prepared, both for the future and backwards. That is his specialty, and this is what an entrepreneur, a wannabe entrepreneur or a upcoming entrepreneur should always learn from. And this is one of his greatest teachings for the business world. And I'm going to share this very special story. What made him whatever he is today is because of this twist. And this is the biggest takeaway and learning for all of us. In early 90s, when the liberalization had just taken place, and he just moved out of the ING Vysya Bank with about 350 crores. That was the time when they came across a tender invitation for international airport to be built in Hyderabad, prestigiously by the then Chief Minister, Mr. Naidu. He wanted this airport to be world class. And world-class airports are not built by newbies. World-class airports are built by world-class infrastructure companies. It could be from Singapore, from France, or from anywhere else, not just from India. Mr. GMR has contemplated for a while, can I go for this tender? But do I know enough about it? What he has done, and he was competing with another 25 really able competitors. And they're not even competitors because he is not a competitor. They're experts and he's a learner, or he's just a novice. And he went for the tender. But before and after the tender, he had spent all his time, energy, money, effort to acquaint himself what is that goes in whatever that goes into the building and operating the airports. He went about everywhere, whether it is Europe, Pacific Asia. He went to the best of the consultants, best of the companies. He and his team started acquainting what it takes to be in this business. And surprisingly, his bid to the tender has been the number one, and he has won the tender. But the government was not sure how to give such a prestigious tender to a novice like GMR. And it is natural. Obviously, we cannot give such a prestigious tender to anybody who claims to build it. But they did not understand what GMR is actually going through. It's been 1.5 years, this was lingering around and not going into the final stage of accepting or giving the government order. And then he went again to present to the Andhra Pradesh government what he was going through, what he was learning through, how his project is going to be implemented. And this time, government understood that this man is serious and he has invested very serious amount of time and effort and money. The rest is history. That airport is still a world-class airport. He's still operating that airport. And then that is just the beginning, a tip of the iceberg. And he went on to become a builder and operator of many other airports. That includes one in Turkey, one in Delhi. I think Delhi airport has become a number one airport to have handled many number of passengers in a specific year. And that Delhi airport is a red field, not a green field. GMR's confidence in his infrastructure business and his values and philosophy of maintaining the quality, there is no compromise for whatsoever. And now governments of different nations understand the value of GMR's building capability or operating capability, and he is now one of the preferred infrastructure companies in the world. He didn't stop there. He went on to become an operator or a builder of national assets, like whether it is hydropower, airports, roads, national highways. He is going about every single opportunity in the national asset building. He's pride of India, but he's really pride of Rajam, where I had an opportunity to study there for about 6-7 years. And that's when I know Sri GMR as one small jute mill operator. His journey is sagacious, and his personality is so very distinct, and the way he treats you, the way he communicates you, that brings out a lot of confidence in you. His life is inspiration. If you read his life, that inspires you enough that nothing is impossible. He has proven time and again, and his decision to get into infrastructure, even though he was a novice there, even though he was a stranger there, tells all of us what dedication, determination, passion can do. And this is the greatest example of many examples that we have in the Indian business foray. Sri GMR is undoubtedly a great leader, for not just for India, but for the world. It is not about just a business acumen or a vision that you have. It is about going through or going until achieving the vision by maintaining the same standard, by balancing out your values and beliefs. And his handbook of values and beliefs, what he has written not for just his business but also for the family, reflects on how he values certain principles. And there is no compromise. And if you see in the world, the greatest of the achievers, whether it is in sports, business, politics, or any other foray, those people are very special at something. And only such speciality make them very, very special. And GMR is one among them. And I am so very proud to know him in person, to have a great association with him. And what more you want? This is just an inspiration by tons and tons. Please know his story, read his story, know about him, and you will not be disappointed. And what else you want? We all need a fraction of motivation, inspiration, and GMR's story can give you tons of inspiration, tons of motivation. And I hope you like this story of this legendary man, GMR. And I wish GMR to keep growing. Today, I think he is housing about 10,000 plus employees. And I wish him to go forward, make another 10,000 of employees, and become much more bigger than what he is. Live healthy and take care of the society more than what he is doing now. Thank you so much, and we'll meet once again later.